Unsolved.
Zodiac Killer case. What do we know for sure? David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen parked at the turnout on Lake Herman Road at 10:15 p.m. Or did they? Was it 10:15? Or was it 10:45 p.m.? We don't know for certain. We get this information from the police report. Helen told them that they drove by her and her sailor boyfriend at 10:15 p.m., went to the end of the road, turned around, and came back and saw them again while they were heading back to Vallejo. Helen married Thomas Axe when she was 15 or 16 years old, and the gentleman that she was driving with, her boyfriend, was not Thomas, and so that might be the reason they had trouble the police reaching him. Frank and Robert arrived at the Marshall Ranch at 9 p.m. Well, in his second interview, Robert Connelly said they arrived around 9 p.m. and that they were hunting with the dogs and they saw some activity up by the turnout. In their first interview with the police, they described a light-colored 1960 Rambler station wagon that was parked at the gate. It was parked southwest of where we, the police, finally found the car. This discrepancy wasn't noted at first. This was a statement as to their activity during that night. They said that when they arrived there at 9 p.m., a white four-door hardtop 59 or 60 Impala was parked there, and also a truck coming out of the gate. Bingo sees the white Chevy Impala and the red Ford truck at about 10 p.m. This information comes from the police report. He was checking his sheep at approximately 10 p.m. and he observed a white Chevrolet Impala sedan parked by the south fence of the entrance to the pumping station. He also observed a red Ford pickup. Peggy Yore spotted David, Betty, and the Rambler at 11 p.m. Mrs. Yore reports that at 11 p.m. she was with her husband and he was checking the pipes and the equipment at the construction site. They observed the Rambler station wagon. When the lights of their car flashed on the Faraday car, the subject in the driver's seat put his hands on the wheel. When the Yores returned a few minutes later, after having turned around, subjects in the Rambler were still sitting there in this position. When they turned around into the Marshall Ranch, Mrs. Yore reports they saw a red pickup truck with wooden board sides parked in the field about 25 feet in. At this time, the car was facing out to the road. She stated there were two white male adults in the car. One of them was 25 to 30 years old and had a stocking-type hat or cap over his head. In a follow-up police report, she saw a tall, white male adult, approximately 28 years, dressed in dark clothing, standing by the gate on her husband's side of the car, approximately 6 feet from the car. He had a gun in his hand. It had a long barrel. A red pickup with white wooden sides was parked about 40 feet ahead of their car. She stated a white male adult who appeared to be an old man, got out of the truck and shined a flashlight into their car. She states she told her husband there was a man with a gun. They turned around and heading east on Lake Herman Road. She states the station wagon was still parked in the same spot. She states this was sometime between 11:15 and 11:18. Homer Yore witnessed Robert with the flashlight at 11 p.m. He was going west on Lake Herman Road. He turned into the road going to the Marshall Ranch to turn around. He saw approximately 30 feet inside the road from the gate a red pickup truck that had white wooden sides. A man was by the truck. He shined his flashlight into the Yore car. And Homer's wife, Peggy, who was sitting in the front seat at the passenger side, said there is a man with a gun. This is from the book Zodiac Unmasked, but I'm going to correct it as I read it. The night of the murders, Robert Connelly and Frank Gasser of the Gasser Ranch on Highway 21 were out there possibly hunting raccoons, or some young teenage couple who were blocking the entrance to the gate with their vehicle. They parked the pickup 25 feet into a field of the Marshall Ranch. The gated entrance itself was 1/4 mile west of Lake Herman Cottage. As the gate swung inward, an unidentified truck began going out. The hunters observed a white four-door 1958-60 Chevrolet Impala parked alongside its path. Gasser, 68, wearing a hunting jacket and shining a 3-cell flashlight, ambled over to the Impala. Curious, he peered into the front seat and then the back. The car was empty. Perhaps its owner is out scouting the area, he thought. Now I'm going to provide a little commentary. We know that David and Betty's murder occurred about 11:15 p.m. So the odd thing here is the witnesses speak of being out there around that time, when they had to have been there a little bit before that time. And so the time frame narrows, where the last people to see the Rambler were the raccoon hunters, Robert and Frank, making it seem to me that they are, or one of them is, the Zodiac Killer. But there is the possibility that there was a third man and a second car with the raccoon hunters, and they met there to do the raccoon hunting, and the third man was a hothead, and he's the one that shot David and Betty for being parked in that turnout. I'm still trying to find more information on Harlan, or Ralph Hall, R.H. After writing an email to Robert and Christine Connelly about the location of the Gasser Ranch, I received these 2 emails. They are 82 and 80 years old, respectively. I am sorry he can't remember much about back then. We cannot help. It was a long time ago, and he cannot remember much. The ranch is where you said. Things have changed drastically down there, and we are no longer in the area. We cannot help. I am sorry. After writing them again, inquiring about Harlan, I did not receive a reply back. I am looking into the Zodiac murders. There's a lot of interest from the public regarding this case. People want to know who killed these innocent people. I have questions for Robert Connelly about Ralph Harlan Hall. I understand it might be difficult to remember details, but you must be able to remember him when presented with a photograph. He was a neighbor on Hargis Avenue. Number 1. What was Harlan like? Was he an educated man? Did he serve in the military? Number 2. Was he a heavy-set guy? About how tall was he? Did he ever wear a beard or glasses? Number 3. What kind of vehicle did he own? A sedan, truck, a VW? Was his vehicle new or in good condition or in bad shape? 4. Did he own any handguns? Sincerely, Nancy Drew.
Please subscribe.
Well, this ends this episode of Unsolved, and I'm still working on the Ralph Hall and Robert Connelly connection, and I do have a couple things that I can check out. So I'll see you next weekend.